Hello again, this is Old Man PHP. I create PHP video tutorials for the old guys who want to learn a new skill and compete with the young crowd. This is video 124B. I told you in the last video that we're doing the inventory system, and I think I showed you how to create, where is it? The actual database, and I think I showed you, remember how it goes. So when you get in there, use of course MySQL. This is what I'm using, and of course you're going to create it. This is just me putting out things. I'm going to have this over there too on the description below. So when you're going to create a database, you use this. If it doesn't exist, you can call it inventory.db. I called it something else. Then you say use this is the database. I'm calling it something. You can call it whatever you want. And then you say, oh, we're going to use the database that you just created. Then now you're going to create a table, because we're going to use the find item, because that's where the stuff is, right? And then this is how you do it. And there's going to be a button. I think I showed you on the last video where you can, there's a tab, an SQL tab. You hit that and you copy this, right? And put that information in there after you have done this stuff first. Then once you're done with that, you create your login file, your user file. This is the one that holds the ID and the password and the username, right? And then you insert it, right? You can add this. You can just put this admin.abc, whatever you want. But you know, in reality, you want to save something that you create using the bin2 hex. That's what you're going to use, the encryption that will work for you. This is how it's done. Oh boy, where is it? I'm going to show you, there will be a file named hash, how to hash it. And then you take that and you copy it. I'm going to show you on the next one, okay, how to do that. How you can hash it, but I'll give you a quick, that's your index. Let me see. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it goes. This will be a hash file. And you remember that I told you can use ABC123. You just do this. You just take this whole thing right here. And up to here. Like this. Copy it. Put it in the file. Run it. You're going to get the encryption. Take that encryption, then you go back to your SQL and put it in. You put it in right. Where is it? You're going to put it in right. Where is it? I know I'm missing something. Where is it? I don't know. Something is missing here. What did I... Oh, good. You can put it right here. Right in here. Stick it right in there. That information. So that one, when you log into username password, it's gonna read this, and then the verify. Remember the password underscore verify? That will do the job for you. Okay. So we're here, we'll do this, we'll create it, and let's get to the index, okay? Because so we're running out of time. And this is the second time I'm doing this video, because the first time we were doing that in the system, or maybe the whole neighborhood, I don't know, everything is running slow. And I just couldn't get a response, so I had to kind of shut it down a little bit and come back and get it done. But anyway, this is the index file. This is what this looks like right here. You see this right here? That's what that is. Now I'm going to show you. See this right here? This is the stuff that you created earlier using the config file. Where is it? Oh man, what the hell? Do people lost out there? Sheesh. Right here. This is what this creates. This right here. See this? And it creates a session. Remember I told you when you create a session, you got to make sure you put this as a line. this tells PHP I want to create a session in that file, which happens to be this one. It's going to have some sessions right here, variables. Then you're going to create the encryption and you're going to put it in. And of course, and if you go over here, you're going to see it. Look, it puts it in there for you. Now remember, this is the index. Remember I told you. This is HTML5. You're going to put your PHP config stuff right up here, which happens to be this stuff right here, right? This is going to have the right information. You get that from your host company. Right? Now you're here. You got your form. Where is the format? This is, remember I told you everything is boxes. That's what that is. From here on, this is the form, and you're gonna, once you hit the submit button, it's gonna run this guy right here. It's gonna run auth.php, which authorize, which I'm gonna show you in a second. And of course, you're gonna leave this. Now, see, notice you don't got, where's the honeypot? It's not there, because if you kind of did, if you did this block, let's see. Let's see if it shows. I wonder if I can bring this down a bit. Let me see. See these two black things? That's what those are, right there. These two things. But I don't want nobody to see it. You can either move it far left, but you can also do block none. Display. I want to say display none. None. Like this. There you go. Now, remember the username and password. Before I said, we'll use, what is it? Admin and ABC123. So let's put it in there. Let's say admin. Oh, before we do this, before we ABC123, before we do this, let's go here. We're gonna go to view page source. And here's a, remember that where is it? The generation part that I just showed you. Oh yeah, this part right here. This part right here. That's what this is right here. You see it? And you're sending this to the actual authorized page. This guy, and he's going to check to see, right? So now you're here. Let's get this out the way. You're here. Let's get it out the way. What happened there? How did I get there? How did I even end up being in a? That's the most strangest thing ever. It's kind of weird, right? Anyway, we're here, and then we're going to say submit. Enter the system. Don't submit, and boom, look at this. It puts you in the dashboard. By the way, this stuff, remember I showed you how to do this? And this, right now I'm not showing you this, but as we go, we'll fix that, okay? And remember, if you would have had items in the find item table, it will show here with buttons. With buttons. And this one is to add. This gives you what the price is and action is and all that stuff. Good stuff. That's what this is. So now if we go to the authorize, where is it? This is the authorize. Wait a minute, before we do anything, I want to be sure I'm not providing anything. Okay. So remember, we include the config file. We saw that. Then we're checking. We're going to say, is that method, is that method right here? Is it a method? Is it post? So you're going to say, yeah, it is post. Maybe we should have moved this up a little bit. Right here, it is post, right? And then you're going to say, hey, is the session set? Do we have this? Yes, we did. We do, because it was set before when you ran your config file, which happens to be, where the hell is it? Right here. See, when you created it, it's right here. Let me put some lines. See? You see it right there? It created it for you. Let's save this anyway. That's what that was. Right here. So it says, oh, okay, cool. It's there. If for some reason there's a problem, right? Let's say if it's, let me see, if there's a token, right? Puts it into dollar token. That's your post. But if there's a problem, let's say there is a problem, because you know you're able to do this, but somehow, because this says or, either or. Well, you check, look, it's good. So it jumps down. Now it says, oh, I want to check. I want to check my token with what's in this session. That's the stuff that's floating out there. It's like cookies. It sits in the browser. Session sits in the server side. So right here, this command is saying if it's not equal to, please get the hell out. And you get a message saying token violation failed. And that's it. It dies. It gets you right out, puts you right back to the login form. But everything so far so good, right? So you did this part, it keeps going. Now you're checking for honeypot. I wrote it down over here. See the honeypot? You want to see if it's empty. If it's empty, then there's a problem. That means you got a bot, right? So then you want to check for the CS. That's a protection checking. Remember that I told you it protects for anything that's injected. And if it's not token, let's say the token, or if it's not hash equal, that means if this comes out as false, right, then do this. It's going to say this server, this is just a server protocol. That's all it tells you. This is that what is that, the HTTPS, remember the S? That's what that is. Then you said 405 method not allowed, and it'll die. You probably would not see this because this goes fast, but who knows, maybe it does. Then you go error, form submission failed, security violations, CSF. Later on we'll give you some more how that works. Then we created the blacklist. Remember the blacklist. That's sort of the porn and the and the ads that you get, and you want to check. And remember I told you when somebody types in, I showed you before, like somebody types in the word, I'm not going to mention the P word or the PUSS word or the PUSSY word or the DI, all the stupid crazy word, because this can be big. You can make this big. Or you want to do, what is it? What you call that? The ads. Remember I showed you how you can check for porn, and then you can check for porn, but the O becomes a 0. Remember that? And it checks for all these things. And what happens is when you're typing it, right? Like say that you do, let's say if you put the word casino, okay, casino, right? The moment you say casino, the moment it hits the O, it erases it for you, because I want JavaScript to get rid of that for you. But let's say somehow somebody turned off JavaScript and it went through, well, PHP is going to catch it. This is what this does. This is what it does. So it's just for each one. Now remember, every time you put information in a form, it goes to an array. We don't see it. It's in the background. It goes to an array. And this is, so the post, right? Because this is a post. Where is it? Where is it? See? Because it's a post, right? Everything here will be, $_ and whatever parentheses you will have, and the names that you get, which happens to be these guys. Name token, username, password, that gets thrown in there. And by doing it like this, it'll go right through. See, look, for each, and then for each blacklist. This is just to make it, this is just a placeholder because I didn't want to put longer, name, like I could have used blacklist or whatever, yeah, but this is how you do it. For each blacklist is long, otherwise it would be like blacklist. You're gonna say as word, and you're gonna keep it as word. And then what happens is, this is the, see the string position? It goes to each one, and once it gets to that, you know, if you use the word casino, then it says blank it out, and it does it over here too. But in this case, what it does is it'll die out, and then it says your submission contains prohibited content, right? And then of course you got your get your password situation, right? This is when you verify your password, because I put in, remember, what is it, admin, and then ABC 1 2 3. It checked, and it said, oh, find out, it trimmed everything that might be, because sometimes, you know, when you enter information, it goes through all the whole thing. By the time it gets to the server, I mean, it happens fast, of course, but it can, some things can ride with it, like blank spaces and stuff like that. And what you do, the best thing to do is to make sure you trim it. That's why I always say, and you've seen in the past that you check for emptiness, and then you check, and then do the trims. So we trimmed the username, right? And now I'm using it. I'm using it over here. I mean, I could have did the question mark and do the prepare statements, but you can do it like this. So you get a query select, and you know, if you put the question mark, it would be a better deal. And you've seen that, but I wanted to show you that you can do it like this too. Look, username, selects. Right here, this is a SQL, right? This is it's telling you in the database, in that table, I want you to select all of it. That's what that asterisk is. From that user, remember the user's table, which, what is it? This is here, where is it? Right here. The user table, right? Has username, password, and the ID. So it does it checks for everything, but it says where username equals this. Now you put admin, remember? It will check and say, oh, okay, it is admin. And then, but it went, did it show it? Did not show it to it because it jumped out quick because I put, I should have just, for demonstration, just cut it so you can see it, but it's okay. It went here real quick to the dashboard. If I would have, like, you know, did this instead, you would have gotten welcome back and all that, and all this information would have shown. But because it's going so quick, it went straight to the dashboard. So now you're in the dashboard. So basically, what are you doing? You go like this. Then remember that one, the $PDO, the prepared statement. You're taking this query string, putting in the prepared statement. Then you execute it. Then the execution. Remember all this when you create these kind of things from before, which is, what is it again? Where the hell are we? Right here. See, it created a what you call it, an object, put it into $PDO. That's the variable. That's what you see here. And now that it's in there, it's an object. Now it's going to use the methods. And one of the methods that it uses is called prepare. And then the one that it uses is called execute. The other one that they use is called fetch all. The other one is, close the cursor because you don't want an open cursor. You want to cut it. That's it. You already read everything. So what happens is in the PDO, we assign it to a variable. Then we use it. See, look, it's assigned. Now I'm using a function, which is a method, right? Then you're doing the same thing, but you're putting it into another variable called user, because we're going to use that in a bit, right? And remember, everything is saved into some kind of array, right? So now it gets everything. See, this creates everything. There's all of it. So if you have like 10 records, it's going to read all 10. But if you're using just like this right here, you're specifically telling you, just use this guy. I just want you to select this guy. And it's okay to run it through a for loop because it's still been an array. So it's okay. It's, even if it's one record, it's okay. So then you close it up, right? That's what you gotta do. Then you take that user, which happens to be this one, which you fetch everything, right, from that record of that person, the user. Then you're gonna, of course, run the for each, because that's what's great for arrays. This is what the variable is, and as $US, and this is what you see here, $US. We're gonna use that. Remember, $US. This one has, where is it? This one has ID. We're not gonna deal with that. Username and password. So we go to the username and password. This is what it is. Normally, if I didn't have that thing going to the header, it would have just, kind of just say exit right here. And you can see all this information. And what happens is, this is just us. This was just for us. You don't have to do any of this. This you need to do. So if you trim the password, which you would call it a hash, then you trim the password that you got from the form, which you call post getter, because I got it for the post. Remember the method post in the form? You trim it, and then now you verify it. Now you're going to say, whatever I see in the database, I want to verify with the one that I put out there in the session. Remember that? And you use this called a password verify. And this is how that works. If it works out good, that it does equal to it, then you get to do all this, like welcome back, whatever you want. But right now we're heading straight to the dashboard. That's what this is. It's going straight to the dashboard. Right now we don't got anything in the user, but we will. And then we got the wrong email password, just in case if something happens. Well, first of all, yeah, we are going to the index. Are we going to the index? It sure is. We are going to the index. And what happens if it did fail? Like somehow I went through all this and somehow, no man, this doesn't work. Something's wrong. Then it'll get you right straight back to the actual form that we had before, the login, username, password form, that one. Right now you're in the dashboard. Right now we got nothing. So if you wanted to add items, you can hit this. This one, remember we talked about this before, the reCAPTCHA. I'm going to explain that in the other video coming up. And hopefully I'll have more records. But that's basically it. I mean, there is, see this login right here? You can log out of this. We're not going to hit it now because I'm going to show you. I mean, I'll show you real quick. Do I have it? I mean, by the way, this is what the dashboard looks like. When it goes to the dashboard, it goes like this. Look, it includes the config file. That's the same thing. It even checks for username and ID file, right? The ID. It checks for the ID because it was part of it. And over here, this is the search part, which we're not going to do this right now because I wanted to go straight to this. This is what this is. But when the time comes, we'll get rid of all of these things and then we're going to run it so you can see the search too. Also on top of that, you know, have like a, where is it? Well, it's not here now, but it'll probably be like a little search thing there. And then, but for now, I just wanted to do that because I just wanted to go straight to the actual, form, which this is what this is, right? By the way, the dashboard has all these things. Look at this. Has all these things. You got your regular HTML, right? Or everything that goes with it. That's what this is. This is a form. See the name? Dashboard. Right? This is the actual import form, type, text, number. You'll see when we get it working. Look, we're calculating that the reCAPTCHA. Remember that one? This is where you get that from the Google. I showed you that already, but we'll get that working. And then, of course, you got all this information that reads from the table, and then it'll show you. And then you got your JavaScript. Says, oh, if it's empty, update and quality. This just does a few things. But you'll see when I get, information in there. Get that to work. Well, basically that's it. This is this. I'm going to do it slowly. You can see what I'm talking about. That's what this is. You want to search a name. You go search, I don't know, TV. hit this, and it'll come over here. This will have those little button things that you've seen before. Let me see if I can. No, I can't show you because I'm still logged in a certain way. I took it out. Well, maybe in the beginning of the next one I'll show you what that looks like. Anyway, I think I showed you. It's like a little button, and you hit the button, it tells you who you are and what company. You know what I'm saying? Little information there. Anyway, this is what HTML5 looks like. See? Look, you can embed PHP into it. That's about it. So we reached the bottom. This is what it'll look like when you want to add a new item. You're going to add the information in, right? Ba, 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 ba. You're going to say, how many do you want? I don't know. Right now it's not working. Well, yes, it is working. So you say 5, I don't know. What will be the price range? Blah, blah, the root, the schedule, whatever the numbers are. You know those numbers that you get when you get packages and stuff? You put it in here. And then a name. And then you hit item. This will be a little button. Right now it's not showing you. But it will. Anyway, that's what it looks like. I'm going to put all this in the description below. And hopefully, you know, you get it. You play with it. And hopefully if you got anything that you need to say in the comments, well, I don't know why people don't use the comments, but even people that I've trained have called me instead of giving me the I don't know. Anyway, we reached the end of the lecture. So if you think you learned something from this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Until next time, a good night.